insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Oh, attack and dominate. It's a Thursday, Bob. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you, sir.
That did not sound heartfelt.
That's what you said yesterday.
I know. It didn't sound heartfelt. Okay, what was the water thing? I didn't point this time. I did the 4 fingers and a thumb at you.
You need to learn, though, to be able to communicate with people without, like, reaching out and
touching me.
Just making general movements in their direction.
What was the water thing?
The water prank for my son. Yeah, he put down
Watergate
pans of water outside people's bed.
That's a good call by him. I gave a snap. It's a good call by him. Watergate.
I just literally told you your inability to follow directions is unparalleled.
Inability or just look, hey,
whatever, either through ignorance or sheer stubbornness.
Stubbornness.
Well, that's fine. Again. I'm not sure which is worse.
What's Watergate? What happened with you in the water?
Okay, are you gonna relax and let me tell you?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
My son got pans of big tin foil pans and put them either underneath people's beds or outside their doors to step in. And that would make sense after I'd watched him on our cameras walking through the basement, after he got him out of the basement closet where we keep him. Like big cooking, we do like roasts in or pork shoulders and smoke them. And he got those and filled them up and set them out. So we got a number of people with that. Took all of the silverware out of the drawer, hid that somewhere.
Where? Who knows?
Well, it was in a bag. My wife found it later.
Good for him.
It was good for something. Took all the condiments out of one side of the fridge on one of the doors. Put those in the outside fridge. He put some sort of gelatin in one of the juice bottles.
Okay.
Put some dye in another juice bottle. And my wife goes, "I can't believe you were so mad." I'm like, "Well, because he left his phone here. It was on 3%, which means he didn't charge the night before, which means you forgot to get it from him," which was very upsetting to me. I go, and then there was an empty gallon of milk that smelled bad, and I was trying to figure out how that played into whatever was going on. So I saw a TV that was
not broken,
that appeared to be broken. I saw his phone left. He had already gone to workouts. I knew he'd been up since 4 o'clock. And there was an empty gallon of milk that smelled as if it was spoiled, and it was left out. So I was trying to piece that together and figure out why all those things had occurred.
Okay, all of those things are, would you call them harmless pranks?
No, because I said the silverware and stuff you're putting back. Like,
right.
You can take the time. You moved it, you can put it back now.
I went next level, Bobby. As I'm driving home yesterday after our what should be award-winning, but award show. Anyway, as I'm driving home, I see my wife coming towards me in a vehicle. She's on her way to get a mocha. That's like stupid to go buy. Colin's Coffee, though. I love it, though. She's going to Colin's Coffee to buy a mocha. And I put the window down. I say roll. No one rolls windows down anymore, right? They're all just push the button. Rolling windows down is no longer a thing, right? Do you know anybody who has a window that they have to roll down?
I do not.
I have one you have to zip up, but sure.
Okay. Anyway, I see her at the stop sign, and we kind of like cross paths a little bit, and this is my next level April Fool's, Bob. I tell my wife, hey, July 1st. She said, what's July 1st? And I said, I just got the news. There's a potential takeover of our company. They decided to cancel Morning Juice as of July 1st. And she's like, oh, my God, are you serious? I said, yeah. Said,
potential takeover of our company. Is she not like even remotely aware of what's going on?
But I'm trying to dance around it because of the email we got or the text we got earlier this week about not talking about said thing. And I just said, look, Morning Juice is going away. It's not going to be a thing anymore as of July 1st. She said, are you serious? And I said, yes, Jeff. That's your job. And I said, I know. It's tough. We've got to figure something out. It's difficult. That Morning Juice, though, is gone July 1st. And she said, oh, this is big. I said, no, it's big. I'm not happy about it either, Heather.
I don't feel like she was this torn up about it.
No, she didn't. Dude, trust me. She was. And then finally she looks up and says, oh, wait. It's April 1st. I said, yeah, I got you. And drove away. She wasn't happy about it. She's like, your kids do, like, inconvenient things. I did life-altering. That's what I did. I may have well told her I had cancer. I'll beat it, though, Bodie. But I may have well told her that, though. The way her look on everything. Actually, I'll put it this way to you, Bob. Here's your poll question, Bodie. Would my wife rather I lose morning juice or have cancer? I think she wants the cancer, Bob.
It's a pretty big jump right there.
I think it is. Big show lineup for you today. 2 full hours here on YouTube, the Fan app. You can download the show and catch us from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus, Facebook and Twitter there, babe. Right? Yep. Facebook, Twitter. All right, there we go. We're rolling. Albert Breer, 7 a.m. Ya Highness. It's a Brody Thursday. Coming up around 7:35. Morning Juice sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin. Cavs in Golden State tonight. CBJ's in Carolina tonight. Oh, that's a biggie. That's a biggie, Bodie. Brody.
Not this game.
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
We play them 10 times. I think they have won 9.
They might have, yeah. Jackets could use this one tonight, though.
Reds fall Pittsburgh 8-3. Paul Skeens gets his first win. Guards over the Dodgers 4-1. Lots going on today. We'll talk about some college hoops later on. We'll do quick hitters. Like I said, Breer. We've got Ya Highness. But right now, though, Bob, make me smarter.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Hoop, David Copperfield. Bob, do your thing.
Well, here we go. It is Thursday, April 2nd, the 92nd day of the year, 293 days remaining, or no, 273 days, remaining in this
I got to change my schedule.
I'm sorry about that, 2026. This date in 1792, the Coinage Act is passed by Congress, establishing the United States Mint. Begin to start printing money. Back then, really want to print some paper, a lot of coins.
Yeah.
1800, Beethoven leads his premiere of his first symphony in Vienna, Austria. 1902, the Electric Theater is the first full-time motion movie theater in the United States, opening up in Los Angeles. Little rough news here. In 1912, the RMS Titanic begins its sea trials before its first ill-fated voyage.
I'll never let go, Jack.
Until you die here in a couple
Such
hours.
a weak ending.
Freeze to death and just let him slide on in.
Right.
Can't pull him up on there with you.
No.
Too selfish. Want to get warm. This date, 1956. As the world turns, in the edge of the night, they debut on, what did I say? Was it
CBS?
CBS,
I think, right?
yes. They're the first 2 30-minute daytime dramas to air regularly.
And now for the next 30 minutes, as the world turns. Brought to you today by Ivory Soap. 99 and 44, 100% pure. It floats.
100%. Love the music.
That's all I got on this one.
That's
There's
great.
no voiceover on this one. It just the show.
Oh,
intro.
yeah. I love this. It's kind of jazzy.
Yeah.
See if we can get this as a show open for Morning Juice.
Ends July 1st, according to my wife. Bob, the soap operas like that, those are what
They're running out of time. They're like,
I think most of them are gone, yeah.
Most of them have gone off the air. There's only a handful left. Replaced it with cheaper daytime programming.
Yeah, more Springer. But anyway, dead, R.I.P. Anyway, like I remember watching when I would go to my grandparents' house in St. Mary's, Salina, Grand Lake St. Mary's, and on spring break, because my dad had to work and didn't have a babysitter, we would go there. I remember that's when I caught up on like The Young and the Restless and General Hospital. Guiding Light was opposite that. That's where I saw Meg Ryan the first time.
Yeah,
Much
that's where a lot
younger.
of those people used to all get their starts.
It was Bob
Daytime
Barker and then
soaps.
that.
Yeah.
Bob Barker with Price is Right and then all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, believe me, we didn't have cable growing up, so that was what we had on the summer. My mom watched All My Children until it was finally taken off the air. I think she watched every episode for 45 years.
That part's surprising to me.
What?
You had NFL money.
years.
You had no cable.
No. My parents didn't get anything until I got drafted.
I'm just saying, like that. I just said surprising. That's all.
NFL money. I don't even know what that means, dude.
Your dad played in the NFL, right?
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay, I've seen him.
Do you realize how much those guys made back then?
I understand that it doesn't matter. It was NFL money.
What does that mean? Does it
Bob,
spend more than other people?
Yeah, I think
Before
it
you make
does.
these like broad, I think it does. Before you make these broad, sweeping statements,
I'm not saying it's right.
then don't say it.
I'm just saying I thought NFL money. Rob Carpenter. I saw him in a book.
Okay.
I feel.
You know how many of those
means
guys, my dad's friend, contemporaries, are all bankrupt.
they're bankrupt and they can't walk.
So
R.I.P.
But they had NFL
I'm just
money.
telling you at that moment, I thought they've got NFL money.
What was that moment? Right now?
No, but say back then, that was the moment. But in that
I'm
moment,
talking
I
about
thought,
1995,
no,
2006.
Yeah, no.
That's my point. That's what I'm talking about. This date, 1977. Fleetwood Mac's Rumors hits number 1, where it stays there for 31 weeks.
I love when you're playing.
There we go. Stevie Nicks crushing it. This date, 1978. The TV show Dallas premieres on CBS.
Premiering Sunday, Dallas, where money buys power and passion breeds conflict. Patrick Duffy, Victoria Principal, and Larry Hagman star in Dallas.
And that is that.
The fact that you got that on at the end, I was curious to see if you'd work something in from The Office there. Gosh.
Where'd the money go? You know what? I'm never playing with you guys again.
There's Kevin. Just fleecing everybody. On that same day, Velcro is first available for sale in the United States. 1992, John Gotti, the famed mobster, is convicted of murder and racketeering, later sentenced to life in prison.
It was The Godfather without the fancy music, but with a great storyline. But the jury thought the content nailed John Gotti and his co-defendant, Frank Locascio. The cast of onlookers was first-rate, as Gotti bragged to court officers about his pulling power, and U.S. Attorney Andrew Maloney almost blowing the case in his summation, indicating the jury should be frightened to convict Gotti. In the end, 12 jurors, tried and true, sequestered during the 10-week trial, made their decision. And unless there's a dramatic appeal, a sequel, fade to black on John Gotti. In Manhattan, Steve Powers, Fox News.
About Kenny Powers.
OG.
Fox News. There we go. And on this date, let's skip that up. Some birthdays today. Turning 88 today. Mets infielder hit a big home run in Game 5 of the '69 World Series, helping the Mets pull in a World Series crown. I'm amazed that you found this, Mr. Al Weiss.
That's a fly ball to deep left, and Buford breaks back now. It's going, and it is gone for a home run for Al Weiss. And the score is tied at 3-3. The Mighty Mite has become the hitting star of the World Series for the New York Mets. That is his 5th hit in this World Series.
Wasn't a very good hitter. I think his first year up, he hit like under 100.
Ooh.
That's where guys, if you were a shortstop, you could bat 100, or a second baseman, you could bat that poorly. And then I think Ripken and Robin Yountz would change what shortstops do. And then Tejada with the steroids, but whatever, yeah.
Rodriguez.
A-Rod, yeah. Oh, God.
Really bringing the
Yeah.
juice.
Oh, he was clean.
Of course he was.
Jeter.
Suspensions. Jeter, overrated. Go ahead.
Overrated. He's a Hall of Famer.
Bob, you can be a Hall of Famer and be overrated. They both can happen.
Talked about him yesterday. His dad killed him on his birthday eve.
Oh, gay.
Mr.
With the
born
knee.
in
With the knee.
1939, passing away in 84 on April Fool's.
Did you
Mr.
find the video of the national anthem?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Marvin Gaye. There we go.
Tammy Terrell with him? Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job. Bodie knew that, looked it up. Or
Yeah,
just,
it was, she either had a birthday or a passing not too long ago, so.
one of the two.
She
Died
was
or
either
born,
born on a
something.
recent day or
Right.
passed on a recent day in the month of March, and so that's why I knew that.
Dodgers
cancer.
four-time All-Star, Hall of Famer, Passed away a couple years back, born on this date, 1945, Mr. Don Sutton.
1-2 the count to Gary Ward, 2 outs in the ninth. He's 1 strike away from 300 victories. He went around and it's over.
He's in the Perm Hall of Fame, Bob.
Was that a perm or is that natural?
I think it was a perm. I think he got a perm. I think he and the Brady boys, not Tom, like Greg, Mr. Brady. What was the dad's name? Greg was the son. What was the dad's name? What was Mr. Brady's name in Brady Bunch?
Unknown.
Okay, but
Kyle Brady.
Greg though got a perm also. Yes, he was in. I'm saying
Bobby?
that. No, Bobby was the youngest. Greg was the oldest son.
Peter
was a Bodie.
I was just reading all the.
There was
Mike
Brady. That's who it was. They're all in the Perm Hall of Fame along with Don Sutton and me.
Sure, none of that was natural.
I don't think that. I don't think Don was natural. I think Don got it.
Okay.
I think Don was like the steroids of perms. He was artificially induced.
Okay. My dad had a perm for a couple years.
Did he really?
2 years, yeah.
Did you have a perm?
No.
I did.
My brother got a perm when he was in college. It's amazing. Like 2004.
Sure.
5. Oh, it looked good. It looked like AC Slater. It was a mullet, but he got permed.
Do you know why I got a perm?
I don't know. Probably to try to make yourself look better.
Because my dad and uncles all got perms. I remember that. Dad, Uncle Dave, I don't think Uncle Chuck ever did, but Dave did though.
There you go. Hank Steinbrenner, former Yankees owner, son of George, born on this date, 1957. Turning 65 today, Christopher Maloney of Law and Order fame.
I've done nothing. You counting the little children that you've raped and murdered? Is that what you're saying to me? You want to walk me through that, you piece of garbage? Tell me how good you are at torturing children. Tell me how strong you've got to be to kill a little girl. Huh? What's the problem? A grown woman too much of a challenge for you? I should do to you what you do to those little girls. I should put you in pigtails, you little bitch. Come on, you little bitch. I want you to cry for me. Come on, tell me. Come on, cry for me. Ellie, get up. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, you little bitch.
I mean, that's a pretty aggressive scene.
And pretty aggressive interrogation right there.
I always enjoyed him. Then he went off SVU. Now he's back, and he's got his own show.
Yeah, and kind of a quirky guy.
Like the actor or the human?
Yes. Like the human. I think he's kind of I saw him on Sesame Street.
Most actors are weird.
I know, but he's like, I think he's a little weird.
Most actors are a little weird.
I know, but I think he's a little weird.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that that's your thought. I'm confirming that, and then you're doubling down on it. I'm saying it's not just him. It's
Let's roll.
Most. Turning 60 today, Bill Romanowski.
But the next thing you know, you're starting to hear the rumblings. Romo just spit in J.J. Stokes' face. Did what? He spit in his face.
Here's play before. That's J.J. Stokes, I think, talking to Bill Romanowski. Ooh, and there is a real lack of social graces on the part of Romanowski.
That's fair.
It turned into a race issue. Romo spitting into a black man's face. Was it racially motivated? I'd be hard-pressed to say it was. But did he do something that could be construed that way? Yeah.
Things like this can destroy a ball club, and it very well could. And that's when we had this meeting, and, we asked Romanowski, and he stepped up. He said, you know what, guys, I was wrong.
What I did was wrong, and I apologized to him. When emotions are high, logic is low.
It's funny because, I read his book, which is amazing, and he was a wild man. He played with the Niners. He won 5 Super Bowls.
Romanowski did?
Yeah.
I thought he won like 3. Okay, 5. That's great. No, I'm not questioning.
He won 2 with he was on the Niners teams.
Okay.
Early in his career. Then he was with Denver when they won 2.
LA, yep.
I think he won at least 1 with San Fran. I thought he won 2.
4.
4, yeah.
He won 4
and then
total,
and then he played for another with Oakland.
Okay.
When they lost. But just a wild man. And now he would do the Super Bowl tours, and he would come and we'd sit. And I remember sitting there talking with him and going through a lot of stuff, and it was wild. It was kind of surreal to get a chance to sit down and meet with him. And now the fact that he's 60 years old is even crazier. He kind of came in the league right as my dad was leaving. So always fun to kind of hear his stories about everything. Turning 25 today, one of the members of Migos, one of the 2 remaining members.
What the hell's Migos?
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. If you don't know, you don't know. Mr. Quavo turning 25.
Hey, big talks of the town, big boy gang moves. Gang moves. I like to walk around with my chain loose. Chain. She just bought a new ass, but got the same boobs. Whipping up dope scientists. Whip it up, cook it up.
Did I just say boobs?
Yeah.
I figured that was your favorite Migos song, Tito, but
wait,
come to know you've never heard of them.
That's fine. You said one of two.
One of two remaining.
Migos
like the three. Well, what do you think happened to him?
That's what I'm asking. Did one die?
He ascended? What do you think this is?
No, I didn't.
Ascension day.
One left or died?
No, one of two remaining, remaining in this world.
Alive.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't know, Bob, if you said one descended or ascended.
Ascended.
That's a big difference. I didn't
either A, Aaron Rodgers had them spaceships come pick him up.
That's what I'm asking, Bob.
Or B, maybe ascended after resurrection. So I don't know. So
you knew this before he played it?
Yeah.
You were aware?
We were talking about it yesterday. I gave him the names. And he goes, is Quavo alive? I go, I'm pretty sure. He's like, one of them died. I'm like, I know. I don't know which one of the other two.
So Quavo's alive.
Yes. And who was the other one that's alive?
I believe Offset is still with us.
Offset, Offset, traditional spelling. And who's dead?
Takeoff was killed.
I
think he was killed in a casino or a strip club or something like that.
Casino.
That's honestly, if you're gonna go, that's.
I would agree.
A firefight in a casino or a strip club. That's something that's a good story to tell.
Wow.
And then finally, going to the other end of the spectrum here musically, we got all the options here for you.
Real boobs.
I don't even know what that means.
It says boobs in the last one. So good.
By the way, Quavo turned 35, not 25, and then Zach Bryan turns 30 today.
Pictures in passing time, you only smile like that when you're drinking. I wish I didn't, but I do. Remember every moment on the nights with you.
I really enjoy his music.
Have you changed your musical tastes as you gotten older?
Well, as you get older, just the things. It's interesting. When I got to Ohio State, I never listened to country music before. Right. I started listening to country music when I got to Ohio State. I don't think that I listen to as much cutting edge new music now as I used to, because I'm 42 years old and not a young man anymore. But by virtue of going into Ohio State, Quavo's not exactly young, but knowing about urban music, hip hop. I don't listen to it quite as much as I did, but I still am generally aware of all the people involved and aware of a lot of the songs.
Yeah, see, I was hardcore, gangster rap, hip hop, all that stuff growing up, and now I do, like you, Bob. I find myself, I don't want to say...
Not like me. I said I still have access to it.
I'm saying, but now, though, I feel like I'm more country than I've ever been. And I don't seek it out, but when I'm scrolling through the dials...
Because you don't go to Brookhaven anymore.
Whoop, whoop, to Haven.
Because you're surrounded... It's really your population base and the circle you surround yourself with. So I talk to the guys all the time at Ohio State. I'm like, you're my window into the young, urban mind. If I wasn't here,
not urban. See, the urban thing is a weird word. We got to think of a different word, Bob. Because we say urban mind, I think Urban Meyer is all I think of.
Not what I'm saying.
I know, but I'm saying we got to come up with something. What? It's not rural. What will we? Can we say something other than urban though?
That would define where people are probably from.
Get that the source out, Bob.
So I'm just. Well, you figure it out
Hip-hop.
yourself. All right, Thitoff.
Let's go. Yo-MTV
it can be exhausting. I feel like, Bodie, I've already run a mile this morning.
Come on, Bob.
Already run a mile. Some holidays and observances today for April 2nd. What do we have here? Let's take a little look. We've got Holy Thursday because it is Holy Week. It is National Burrito Day as well. DIY Day. National Ferret Day. How about that?
Do you have a friend who had a pet ferret?
You had a friend with a pet ferret?
Yeah. Did you have a friend with a pet ferret? No?
No.
Okay.
I didn't know anybody that knew amphibious rodents, had any amphibious rodents. And Reconciliation Day. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances. For this date, Thursday, April 2nd, the 92nd day of the year, and 273 days remaining in this 2026.
Well done as always, General. I had friends who had ferrets. I had a friend who had a rabbit that was
rabbit
40
is
pounds.
a ferret. Okay.
But I'm saying a whole,
that's
in
not
the
a
house.
rabbit, that's a hare.
Thing was wait, a certain weight gets you a hare?
I think it's a different type of rabbit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, I'm just saying, a friend had a 40-pound rabbit in their house, that would just sit around, never did anything. All right.
There used to be one that lived in the liquor store on 5th.
Ooh.
Are you serious?
His name was Haas. Yeah, they just let him.
No, wait. See, I don't know if you're messing with you or not.
No, that's real.
Liquor store on 5th had a rabbit named Haas. Oh, hare. I'm sorry, named Haas.
I think that was a rabbit. I don't know, but they named him Haas, and he lived there, like just hung out.
Like Afro
rabbits
duck?
are smaller and live in burrows, and while hares are larger, live above ground. There you go.
Dude was huge.
I just told you. So it was a hare.
But he was.
You learned
Haas.
something.
All right.
Haas. He was big.
You
He
always
was a
do.
big rabbit. Just hung out. Didn't really move a whole lot. It's kind of like a cat.
Or
An
like a
overweight
Tito.
cat.
Coming up next, North Carolina got great news yesterday. We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice.
Hey, y'all. It's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. I spent years on the mound giving everything I had, and now I feel every inning in my knees, back, and shoulders. But I didn't want surgery, and I sure didn't want to be sidelined. That's why I turned to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Christie and his team use regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No surgery, no meds, and no downtime.
Whether you're teeing off at the club or chasing the grandkids around, QC Kinetics helps you get back to doing what you love.
Call QC Kinetics now and schedule your free consultation. Natural joint pain relief with real results.
Don't let the pain slow you down. I didn't, and neither should you. My friends at QC Kinetics, they'll take care of you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much stuff because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part? Knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
My mom is a veteran and she was injured in the line of duty.
I hurt my leg in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, Morning Juice. Bob, there are people, both men and women, that would be considered press box hot. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. You're NFL hot. But I'm saying there are people that are press box hot. This guy is Paris hot. Bonjour. There we go. Albert Breer joins us right now. A little bit early, but hey, we love it. It's great you're here. Albert, what time is it there?
12:30. I got 11 hours of sleep last night, guys.
Holy smokes.
Holy brag.
Yeah. I've never, anybody who's a parent knows how hard that is to come by, right? So I went from, and I can't sleep that long anymore. I can't sleep more than 6 or 7 hours. It's just, I'm just conditioned that way at this point. But so I left Arizona, the owners' meeting's out there at 8, and I'm trying to keep the date straight. It was Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific. Flew to Boston, landed at Boston at 4:30 Eastern. Met my family at Logan in Boston, and then flew to Paris 7 p.m. on Tuesday night. Got to Paris at like 7:30 a.m. Paris time, and then went straight through yesterday. I fell down a flight of stairs at the subway station in Paris. We had just gone on this tour, this like food tour, and the stairs were so slippery. I caught myself once and then fell. And then I went to sleep last night at 10 o'clock local time, woke up at 9 o'clock local time. So I am flying now. I honestly can't keep my days straight, my hours straight, and my computer, by the way, is being held up by my left hand. So if I look like shaky cam a little bit, like that's why.
No, it looks good. You're international. I think if you're international, you should be shaky anyway. You fell down the stairs. Do you have a walking boot? What's like your day to day? What's our status here?
No, although this is like kind of my experience as a kid playing football and then like covering football that helped. So I landed down my elbow. That's what broke. That's what broke me from falling all the way down the stairs. And so it hurt my elbow kind of like, it hurts when you land on your elbow. But I had this weird mystery pain in my shoulder. And my wife says to me, like Emily says to me last night, she's like, are you sure your elbow's okay? I'm like, I'm more worried about like this weird pain in my shoulder because I didn't fall on my shoulder, but it freaking hurts. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, if there's something you didn't land on and it hurts, that's probably trouble. And so I'm a little sore there, but other than that, I'm okay.
So I was concerned. You said you're in Paris. I mean, well, Albert must have skipped the owners' meetings, but it turns out you flew straight to Logan, never even left there, I'm guessing, correct? And then just spun around and...
No, never left there, yeah. No, I haven't. This is going to wind up being a 10-day trip for me, which it's like we have a washer-dryer unit. It's like a 2-in-1 in the apartment that we rented, and I couldn't figure out how to use the dryer. So all the clothes, so I had to pack for obviously. So I'm like, I got to do one load of laundry and I'll be good. So I've got all that laundry is sitting on a drying rack right now downstairs. So I couldn't figure out how to use the dryer. Did get the washer going. The dryer part of it didn't really work.
Going full old school there. What were some takeaways from the owners' meetings, Albert? I mean, obviously we got Monken missing the picture because he's getting a haircut, but outside of that.
I like that, like he was getting his haircut for the picture and then missed the picture. That sounds like something I would do. I think the biggest takeaway is, as much as anything else, like this was kind of like I'd say sort of like a low energy is the wrong word, low impact owners meetings, which generally tells you the league's in good shape. I don't think that any of the rules changes were earth-shattering. The biggest one I think involves the NFL Referees Association. Like that's the one that's going to have the biggest impact because that's the one that kind of gives you, that kind of like I think gives you an idea of where they are right now and that they are nowhere in that negotiation. And so they're trying to set themselves up where like the replacement officials aren't quite as much of a disaster as they were the last time around. When you're going and plucking a referee from the Williams Amherst game and putting him in the NFL, obviously that can be problematic. And then I think like the other thing is like that there are a couple of loose ends from a football standpoint you get from like the coaches and GMs talking, right? So what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers is obviously something we're all following. What's going to happen with AJ Brown? That's something we're all following. And then, I think locally for you guys, what's going to happen with Cleveland at quarterback? I think it was interesting. Monken saying that Shedor's been around a lot, but then I think if you listen to Jimmy Haslam or Andrew Berry, you got the idea. It almost sounds like Deshaun Watson would be in the driver's seat. So a lot to be determined, for the Browns, the quarterback position for sure.
Albert Breer from MQB joins us here. People in the chat are wondering, cause I think they believe that the fact you're in Paris, we're unexpected here, that maybe you could be a Bond villain if you wanted to. I'm not sure about that one or not, but you do look handsome enough for that. I
wish I had something that important to do here. The most important thing I do is not piss everybody else off. So
that's my life every day, Albert. That's my life. Albert, the Rodgers situation. I've heard that the Steelers want to know before the draft. They think they should know before the draft what Rodgers is doing. Do you believe it's a foregone conclusion? Rodgers is back for the Steelers this upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Steelers' actions kind of foreshadow that a little bit, like where, last year, the Steelers didn't have a final answer until June, right? Like none of us had a final answer until June. However, if you watch the way they were operating and the pace of how they were operating and how they were setting things up, I think it was pretty clear that they felt confident where they stood with Aaron. And that was because Aaron was talking with them every week. He was with Mike Tomlin on the phone weekly. He was talking with Arthur Smith periodically. And so, for Arthur and for Mike, that gave them the opportunity to plan out as if Aaron was going to be there, start to build an offense for Aaron. And obviously it wound up working out. I think it's the same sort of thing right now where they don't know for sure, but, Mike McCarthy has a relationship with Aaron well beyond what Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith had a year ago. So the fact that he's at a comfort level with where they're at quarterback, despite the fact that the two quarterbacks on their roster right now are the same quarterbacks that were on their roster last May before they got Aaron on board, which is, Mason Rudolph and Will Howard. That tells you they're pretty comfortable with where they're at. The other part of this that's important, I think, is that they do have something behind door number 2, and that I think Kirk Cousins would be really interested in going there if Aaron ultimately were to decide that he would retire. But I think the likelihood now would be that Aaron does wind up playing in 2026, and it's going to be for the Steelers.
I know this has kind of cooled off a little bit, Albert, in conversations, but what's going on with the Chicago Stadium? I mean, is it going to end up in Indiana?
I think it's going to end up in Illinois, would be my guess. I do radio every week in Chicago, and it's just interesting listening to those guys talk, because if you map it out, the site in Indiana is actually closer to downtown Chicago than the site that they've been looking at in Illinois, which is in Arlington Heights. But culturally, I think there's a big difference. And I think for the people in Chicago, I just think there's an importance that it winds up in Illinois. And that's something that I think is that's probably hard for anybody to understand that's not from there. I'm not from there, so and I grew up, in an area where the stadium is in the suburbs, it is in Foxborough, which, Bobby, how far that is from Boston. Yeah. That is not Boston, that's very much in the suburbs. So I think that the priority would be to get it done in Arlington Heights. And they're being offered this sweetheart deal in Indiana. And I think right now, the whole thing is, can we get something in Illinois that's good enough for us to forego the deal in Indiana? And that's one of the reasons why the vote in Illinois, which I think is scheduled for maybe today, has continued to get pushed back, because I don't think the people in Illinois want to vote for it until they know it's going to pass. Vote on it until they know it's going to pass. So, we'll see, but I think the idea would be to keep the team in Illinois and play in Arlington Heights, with Indiana still being a little bit of a last resort.
Albert, we'll get you out on this. You're right on the border of being able to make dad jokes. Don't make any French fries or French toast jokes while you're out there in Paris.
I'm not on the border. I'm an old man now. I'm not under any illusion that I can actually make like a 22-year-old laugh anymore.
All right. Just don't do 6'7" then. All right. We appreciate the time out. Yeah. We'll talk again next week. Enjoy Paris and being the best looking NFL reporter in France.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not even sure that's even true, but I appreciate it, Tito. Thanks, guys.
You bet. That was Albert Breer, MMQB, joining us there. Bob's in Paris. That's dedication.
Well, it is. He's ahead of time. He's there taking time away from his family. Maybe they're outside doing something. It may have been a great reprieve. He told his wife, hey, I got to go do this real quick.
He said, I got to be off at 6:40 is what he told me in his text. He said, 6:40, I got to be cut loose, which basically the kids.
Well, they probably got somewhere they're going. It's probably, maybe they came back for lunch. Maybe they're going to lunch if it's, they're 5 hours ahead of time.
5 hours ahead of time, so it's 11:40 there. Okay, yeah.
Sounds
Eiffel Tower
maybe
in Cincinnati,
12, maybe
Eiffel
6
Tower
hours. 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours. London might be 5. They might be 6.
You been to Eiffel Tower?
I told you I've only been to London. So
okay, I'm sorry. Bobby, I'm just asking. I'm sorry.
Because you don't listen to people when they talk.
I do listen. I don't hear.
You just wait till they're done talking so you can start again.
Okay. That's fair, Bob.
Remember when Fish was like, "You do a really good job interviewing people." I'm like,
He did say it
because
too, yes.
I listen to what they say, and then I ask a question. I have ideas of what I want to ask, but if they say something more interesting that I want to follow up on, then I'd rather do that.
What I want to know, Bob, is the Eiffel Tower at Kings Island, what's that in relation to the size of the real Eiffel Tower?
I bet I've never been to the real Eiffel Tower. I bet it's probably. I bet it's like half or a third of the size. Now you're going to make me look this up.
Yeah, look
too.
it up. Because, Bob, okay.
I'm in the middle right now. I had to look up the differences between a hare and a rabbit, which are genetically different species. Like one is born, they're young, have no hair, and are blind. The other are born with fur and can move pretty quickly.
Wait, does the hare?
The hare is born with hair.
Okay, that's because it's not spelled H-A-I-R. Why I'm asking, though.
Are there paws, their eyes, you think? Or?
They could be.
If you can't see,
I'm just saying, though.
I think that's part of it.
Okay, so
right now I'm in season 3 Game of Thrones, going episode by episode to figure out where Bodhi's at, and I don't want to because I don't want to give away anything. That's why I kept asking if Jamie's still sword fighting, and you're probably thinking, why is he talking about that? Well, because his hand's not hanging from his chin.
Are there any hares in Games of Thrones?
I'm sure there are.
Okay, that's what I'm asking about now. Now we're going somewhere, Bob. This is a show right here. We're not going to do a bracket, but I'm just saying it feels like now if there are hares in Games of Thrones or Game of Thrones.
There you go.
Which one?
Game of Thrones. Yep.
Game of Thrones. Okay.
All right.
Eiffel Tower. Let's do it. The Bradys were there, by the way. Mike Brady with the perm also there. They had an episode.
About the drop tower.
Eiffel Tower, Cincinnati, or Mason, Ohio. I'm sorry. No offense, Masoners. Masonites.
That's the drop tower is what they're giving
Drop
me.
tower is different, Bob.
I understand that, Thitoff.
Dropping the Eiffel Tower, it's a big deal.
The Eiffel Tower in Paris is 310 feet or 100 meters.
Oh, I bet Kings Island, I bet it's the same distance, same length.
It might be.
Same height.
No. Well, no, that's the roller
Probably
coaster.
bigger.
It's not giving me the Eiffel Tower at Kings Island. It's giving me Orion, like all other stuff that's there.
I bet it's the same height, Bob.
It might be.
It seems pretty tall.
That doesn't, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought it was taller than 100 meters or 310 feet.
So did I. That's shocking to me, Bob. There's also a hare at the top of the Eiffel Tower. Ask for it. We don't have a definitive thing here?
Listen, man, if it came up quickly, I would be able to just tell you.
That's fine. Coming up next, we will tell you about that. And also Quick Hitters Morning Juice.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
Miss Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here. And I'm the Innovation Ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, and every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
We built a brand new studio just for Bobby, and Tito has already ruined it just by being here.
I'm pregnant.
This is Morning Juice.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town? The opportunity to work alongside them as partners, whether you're a small business or a large operation. Riverside Bank of Dublin, they've got the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area, and they're going to help you reach your goals. So whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them at 6300 France Road, Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
NKY Flyer says he thinks that Kings Island is a third of the height of the original Eiffel Tower.
So this is what it says here. The Eiffel Tower at Kings Island is 1/3 the scale replica of the original Eiffel Tower in Paris, serves as the park's signature observation centerpiece. Its upper observation deck is located at 278 feet, 85 meters, which they said that the Eiffel Tower is 100 meters, but that can't be right then.
I'm going to tell you right now, Bob. And kudos to Breer for being out in Paris. But I don't think if you go to the top of the one in Paris, you can see the beast.
Yeah. Okay. The one in Paris is 330 meters. It's over 1,000 feet. So that is true. It is a 1/3. Good job.
Thank you, NKY Flyer. But like I said, you can't see the Beast or the Racer or Scooby-Doo or SpongeBob, whatever's out there now, or Peanuts. Here we go. Let's do quick hitters.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
He's Cody Wells.
All right, fellas. Happy Thursday. We'll start here. Some college football. Ohio State football. Saw this one over on The Athletic. Manny Navarro put together an article listing his one key question for each top 25 team as spring ball is underway all around the country. For Ohio State, he asked, can the Buckeyes find pass rush production opposite Kenyatta Jackson? He wrote, Jackson, an edge rusher, is one of 3 defensive starters back from last year's #1 scoring defense. The other 2 play out back in the secondary, I should say. Ohio State added tackles John Walker from UCF and James Smith from Alabama in the portal. They'll play inside along with Edric Houston. That leaves one spot opposite of Jackson, potentially for Zion Grady, Bo Atkinson, or the other Alabama transfer, Quay Rusaw, to win that spot opposite of Kenyatta Jackson. Tito, was that, if you kind of had to ask a question right now from what we know, would that be your top question? Would you go with another one? You have another one in mind maybe that you're like, this would maybe be the one area of concern for Ohio State as we stand here today?
Yeah, I think the pass rush is probably the biggest question. And, Bob, I'm going to go, this will be a long intro to it, but I know you don't.
Brevity is the key to the soul. Remember that.
That's fine. But anyway, there was a time when I had somebody who would ask me, like, hey, how do you feel about this in sports? And I would say, oh, yeah, that's how I feel. Oh, God, that's great. I'm really glad you said that. Like, they would take my word as the gospel.
This person is sadly ill-informed.
Okay, that's fine. I don't want to say I mocked the person because mock's the wrong word, but I was like, I was surprised this person took my word as the gospel. But when I talk to you about Ohio State and I ask you about Matty P in the defense, I think I'm that guy. And I'm asking you, like, hey, you feel good about the defense? Maybe, oh, yeah, it's good. Oh, it's good. Good to hear. Good to hear. Bob, I feel like that's how I am with you. I am now that guy who I mocked before. But if you tell me, hey, pass rush will be fine, Matty P knows what he's doing, I will take that as the gospel.
So they didn't have a crazy great pass rush last year. The way Matt Patricia plays defense is kind of unique where, I mean, they do a lot of different things, but they don't sell out to get sacks. And he's never been like ultra aggressive like that if you look back. So I don't know that it's going to be paramount that they get that. They will get plenty of pressure. I think James Smith will provide a lot of pressure inside. Excited to see him play in real games. I think Quay's going to be fine out there. Excited to see how they incorporate the linebackers into it with some of the unique stuff that they do as well. And hopefully Kenyatta Jackson takes a step. I'm not concerned about that. I think the real question would be is, have they solidified the line, offensive line, better than last season? Have they been able to figure out the right guard spot of what that's going to look like? I think that's probably the better question to ask.
Okay, going back to the defense, though. The difference between pressure and sacks.
Sacks are great. Right. I mean, they take away yardage. It's a yardage loss through impact plays. When you have a sack on a drive, I mean, your chance of scoring touchdowns drop dramatically because you're significantly behind the sticks, things like that. But just applying pressure and confusion, like last year, I mean, their defense was the best in the country scoring-wise.
Right.
They didn't lead the nation in sacks. They weren't even close to it. So I don't know that that's necessarily a metric that you need to have as part of it.
All right, next up here, let's jump into college basketball. 2 for 1 here for the High State men's basketball program. Jake Diebler, his top assistant from this past season, Joel Justice, is heading down south. He's leaving Columbus, heading to join Vanderbilt's men's basketball coaching staff. Justice spent the past 2 seasons as Diebler's right-hand man here in Columbus. And then along with that, earlier this week on Tuesday, John Mobley Jr. announced that he is going to test the NBA draft waters, but he will be keeping his eligibility to return to school for his junior season if he wants to. And if he does choose to do that, he has said that it'll be back here in Columbus with the Buckeyes. So, Carp, assistant coaches come and go, but I think the Mobley Jr. one is probably the bigger news of the two there. And I would expect him to come back, and it's good that, given that I think it's likely, not that my opinion is the end-all be-all, but I think most people would probably agree with that. Good news that for Ohio State, he's already confirmed it'll be back here with the Buckeyes.
Yeah, if he doesn't like what he hears, which, yeah, I mean, it's an exploratory process for him. I doubt he's going to hear what he wants to hear. I don't think he's probably even overly optimistic. He just wants to go there, get a free eval, tell you what you need to work on, tell them their thoughts on you, thoughts on your game, and move forward. But it's good to hear that he said he will be back should he not go to the NBA. So that means you pretty much secured 2 of the 3 guys. Or what was your big fourth?
There was a big 3. It was going to be Bynum, it was Mobley, and there was going to be Devin Royal. Royal, we already know.
You got the first 2, and Royal's in the portal. I think yesterday I saw he was ranked the 17th best player by some ranking.
In the portal, yeah.
Maybe that was Tuesday. I was looking at that. So, I mean, good player. There's some other players in there. We'll see, to see where he goes and who Ohio State scoops up.
I think that Mobley, yes, you're right, Bob. It's a great opportunity to be out in front of and talk to NBA people. I don't think ultimately he'll go in the draft because right now he would not be a first. If you're not a first-round pick in the NBA draft, then it makes sense to come back. I don't think Mobley would be a first-round pick. He does have fantastic range. He has a great shot, but I don't think he would be a first-round pick. By the way, the Justice thing. I just thought about
the Justice League?
No, the Justice, Justus thing. I knew about that a few days ago. I had an insider scoop.
What's the Justice?
Which I normally have.
Oh, him
the fact
leaving?
Justice is leaving.
Oh, okay.
I knew he was leaving.
Justice Beaver?
But I didn't. I don't know what that's from.
It's a crime-fighting beaver.
Okay, that's fine. I was thinking. Anyway.
Nobody knows what that's from.
That's fine. It's probably Game of Thrones. Anyway.
Yes.
They have a beaver. They have a Justice Beaver Game of Thrones. I think that's probably accurate, Bob. It's a little side nugget. Look for the Excel spreadsheet. But, Bob, I heard the Justice thing, and I sat on it. And because I was going to try to act like I was an insider, even though I knew somebody who knew somebody.
What if it didn't happen?
Well, that's what. And I just now remembered. I just remembered that I had that. I was sitting on that. So I'm not trying to get credit for it. But nonetheless, Bob, I'm not surprised about Justice. Do you sit on things sometimes? Not just your chair. And that's all I'm going to say. Like, if you get insider info on something happening, that's going to be tough for you. Because you've got.
I mean, there's a lot of things I know that aren't appropriate for public consumption.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's part of it.
Let's go just recently.
I mean, my goal isn't to break news.
Okay, but like Matt Patricia.
I'll allude to things when I hear
Not
stuff.
ludicrous, allude. Gotcha.
I said allude to
I
things.
did said allude.
And just kind of direct people in the direction I think it's going and have to push back with people without, well, how do you know? Well, just follow the tea leaves.
Right.
And I have no problem with people thinking they're right when I know they're wrong.
See, how do you, okay.
How do I do it? I come into this show every day. I sit in this chair and I just bite my tongue. I almost have bitten it off before.
More so now?
I've seen people get their tongues cut out of their mouth for saying stuff wrong, Bob.
Is that Game of Thrones also?
Yeah.
Luda Beaver? Whatever it was.
It's from The Office.
Oh, okay.
You've seen it.
I've seen The Office, yes.
I'm guessing. Jim makes a Justin Bieber comment. And Dwight Schrute goes, who's Justice Beaver? And Jim's retort, he's a crime-fighting beaver.
I don't remember that episode. I should have known that, though, Bob, because I've seen a lot of The Office.
Continue, Buds.
All right.
We're about out of time.
Yeah. NFL owners, they approved a replay rule change. So if dudes start swinging, now the replay officials can call down on the field and say, get that guy off the field.
Pull him out for the fights. That's good.
I think there was a didn't somebody take a swing in one of the playoff games last year and the refs didn't catch it? So now basically the replay officials are allowed to throw them out. So more replay. Big win for fans.
Well done.
Let's
as
just
always.
replay every snap.
Do it all. Let's just look at it. Let's get it right. Coming up next, I will tell you now why an ACC team got some great news. That'll be next. Morning Juice.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
It's been a real journey since 2014 when I first had my injury. I realized that my home was just not working for me and that it was time to ask for help. Homes for Our Troops is really giving me my life back. The shower allows me to go in and turn around with my chair, pull down storage racks, automated door systems, hours of my morning given back to me. Adaptive sports are a huge part of my life, a huge part of my healing journey as well. Homes for Our Troops helped with making sure that I had a home gym so that I can continue to train. This past year, I was able to host Thanksgiving in my home. And it was the first time I was able to have my whole family in one place and I was able to contribute to the meal. There are a lot more veterans in need and Homes for Our Troops is going to be there to help them too.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at mda.org today.
Wrinkles, gray hair, and hearing loss are common signs of getting older. But being short of breath, having tightness in your chest, coughing, and wheezing are not. If you are experiencing these symptoms, you may be one of the millions of people who are living with a condition called COPD but don't know it. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years of better breathing to your life. For more information, talk to your doctor and visit copdfoundation.org today.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio's sports destination. One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
We had Breer in Paris speaking English, but here in the studio, Bobby and Brody, they were speaking French. You guys exclude me. You do this whole thing with Games of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Whatever.
I know. You're intentional ignorance on it. It's okay.
It's not
That, and I say this as a favor.
Please.
When you hit an age that you like pretend like you don't know what it is, you kind of just make yourself sound stupid. And I'm not saying that directly at you. I mean as a population at whole.
Oh, wait.
Like when you see coaches sometimes in different sports be like, these
MySpace,
kids are
my face.
And face chat and Snapbook. Like you know it's Facebook and Snapchat. If you're not on it, that's great. I'm not on either one of those two things, and I'm 29, and I think it's fantastic that I'm not. I don't need another social media website to doom scroll all day and ruin my life with. But
doom scroll, I love that term.
But you know it's Game of Thrones. That's probably fair to say, right? You've heard of it.
I get it wrong sometimes.
But probably intentionally.
So,
probably intentionally.
This feels personal.
Look, if you don't want to watch it, that's totally fine. That's your prerogative. But
it's at That Happens, by the way, on Twitter. If you want to reach out to me, folks, on X. All right.
All right, rock chalk.
I don't. Okay. It feels like it was a personal attack there by Bodie. That's okay.
I'm just trying. I say this not
Bodie,
to attack. To help.
It could have been a Monday meeting.
I'm just telling you.
It's okay.
People, when I hear people your age, and this is coming from a younger person.
Here we go. People your age.
I think it sounds silly when people try to pretend like they don't even know the title. If you haven't seen the show, that's totally fine. I'm pretty late to the show myself.
But you feel good.
But I feel great, Bob.
Gosh, this next episode.
Sometimes I don't feel so. Sometimes I watch. I'm like, well, that was kind of hard on the stomach. I don't know that I can go eat dinner now.
You may want to take up drinking. I know that. You and Tyrion, it seems to work out pretty well for him.
Yeah, it seems to work out for a lot of people in that show. Just get hammered drunk in the front row.
I can't watch things that make me uncomfortable.
It's not that bad.
No, I think it is. The incest thing and
it becomes normalized. It just resets.
No, don't say it gets normalized, Bob. Incest can never be normalized.
I don't know. I never thought I'd see grown adults dress up as like animals and walk around and do crazy things. The things that I've accepted in this world that people are just going to be what they want. Okay. It's all right. There's a lot. The incest part of the storyline is big early on, but like right now it's faded off. Like, it's there's a lot of things they shock you with out of the gate, and then they get to the stories, and there's a lot of
you got to build up some callus. You know, you got to take some hits early in fall camp. You can't just go out there week one and try to tackle somebody.
Well, the amazing thing is, and it's kind of like people, like athletes or whatever. George R.R. Martin, like the character arcs that you have, like there's people I told Bodie that you'll love, then hate, then love. There's people you'll hate, then love, then hate. Like, and you'll see redeeming qualities in everybody. And I go, it's kind of like Tiger Woods that was beloved, the all-star, the guy that everybody, was cheering for, and then he became so good, he kind of became the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has obviously the issues with his wife and everything that goes on. And you're like, gosh, this guy's a terrible person. They're playing the voicemails from the waitresses and everything else.
Perkins, yeah.
And people hate him. And then all of a sudden, like, he gets so beat up that he can't play anymore. And then you kind of start to feel bad for him. And you're like, man, like,
comeback story in this country.
Exactly. Kim Kardashian, one of the best.
Right.
So, by the way, that pops in my feed once a day, and I laugh at it every time. I always stop. I always turn the volume on to watch it. And then all of a sudden, like, then you're cheering for him to go, like, have his last gasp at winning a major. Win one more. Like, he was Thanos. It was inevitable he was going to beat Jack. And some people didn't like that. And then all of a sudden, after, like, all of these failings, which made people hate him even more, then you start to feel sorry for him. You may start to feel that way about Jamie with the sand hanging around his neck for a while. And you're like, poor guy was a great swordsman. But now he was the best swordsman in Westeros, and now his hand is hanging around his neck as he's being drug around. And you start to like, you know what? Like, don't agree with everything he did, but he starts explaining through things and talking like, all right, well, maybe there is a little bit more to this guy than
he
than
loses
meets
his hand to save the girl.
Yes.
Like that's
Van Gogh.
That's a strong positive in the pros and cons.
And that's what I'm saying.
checklist.
And so you'll go through that, and now it's like Tiger Woods. People feel bad for him. I mean, very few times could someone have four wrecks that they're under the influence of, and people are like, man, like people feel bad for him, and they're like, gosh, this guy was like the greatest. He's had 29 surgeries. I mean, he's a billionaire. He could have a driver, understand, and thankfully it's because nobody's been hurt other than him in a lot of these instances.
Right.
But everybody looks like, man, like that would suck. The guy's 50 years old, and this is what it is. Flipping his car at 2:00 on a Friday in Jupiter, Florida. Like, wow. I mean, wow. Like, I mean, that's all you really have to say is like, wow.
Okay, Bob. What are my redeeming qualities?
I'm still looking.
You have none. You can't off the top of your head. You can't.
I promised I wouldn't give up.
Wait, you can't think of a single redeeming quality
Well,
of
I
mine.
think you're a good guy. You're generally a good person.
I appreciate that.
Generally.
No, I mean, that's. I don't know what he does in his alone time, but
wow.
We're not going to check my chat history. We're going to check my history on my internet.
I think he's generally a good person.
I would agree with that.
That's-
Elite availability.
By the way,
Elite availability. That's
fine.
the most important ability is availability.
Hey.
Bill Parcells, he would at least like that about you.
after what happened early in this segment here, Bodie, I don't think I can.
I was trying to
no,
help
No,
you.
it's okay. No, you weren't.
I really
No,
was.
it's okay. It's okay, Bodie. I'm not going to. But Bob, the Tiger thing, though, the fact that and we know, I will say this, too.
The party wasn't even over. He had a couple still in his pocket.
Still in his pocket. Okay, well, I hope this was his pocket. Anyway, maybe he's happy to see me, Bob. But when I think about that,
Just a
okay,
candy bar.
right, you could have a driver anytime you want one.
What does that mean? It's called
You
Uber.
get NFL
It's
money.
called Uber.
I just want to say, what I'm saying
It's
is,
called
you
an Uber.
could.
You press the button on your phone.
Everybody's got that.
Yeah.
It sounds like Tiger, for whatever reason, won't. And Tiger,
Well, I told my students, and we were talking about this, I go, you don't buy expensive cars to have somebody else drive them.
Yeah.
right?
Where's the fun in that? He's a private guy. He doesn't want people following him around.
Don't people know where he's going
I
or
like
where he's
that.
been?
That's even
Or
better.
Where he's been. Bigger question there, Bob. We don't know people where he's been. You're right. It's funny about Tiger, how much it's been like, because when Tiger first came on, I think old white people hated Tiger. I was not old then.
100%.
They hated Tiger.
100%.
Yeah.
There were some people that were like,
he was cocky,
I would
incompetent.
say the closeted racist, where they're probably like, I don't want to see a young black guy who's the best at golf
Don't beat Jack.
beating Jack.
Don't
all
beat
those
Arnie.
things.
Yeah.
You know, and he was so good.
He
I don't know
was.
if Tiger was really ever cocky. Like, he was never a big celebrator. I guess he did the fist pumps and maybe pumped the crowd a little more.
Yeah.
A little more Happy Gilmore-ish than maybe people had liked.
I can't tell how much.
Attracting new youthful sponsors.
I've got friends of mine back then that took this to another level. If you're watching
Oh,
on,
yeah.
like it was a thing where like it was
Sunday Red.
yes, all
In
that.
your life, have you seen anything like that?
So okay, today as we sit here, there's your poll question, buddy. I can't keep doing your job for you. Beloved, tragic. How do you view Tiger Woods?
Both.
I think those can
don't
be
do
both.
Don't-
I think it can be beloved and tragic. That's usually why. Would you rather be feared or loved? I want people to be afraid of how much they'll love me.
That's fair. I'm just saying, like, I think he's more beloved than viewed as, even at, like what's just happened, and it's still fresh in all of our minds. It's still like, it's still something that has happened that's top of the news stuff. I still think he's more beloved now than tragic.
I'd say the tragedy is why he's more beloved. Because people then look and they're like, there's a sympathy, there's an empathy there.
Yeah.
That people look at and they're like, this is what the guy is. And he's done a lot of great things in his life, but this is very unfortunate how he's ended up.
I think Jack's happy.
I mean,
Look, he's not going to beat Jack's record, Bob. It's
I
not
think
going to happen.
I think that was kind of cooked a handful of years back.
When he won the last Masters, though, I think it was still in play.
Dude,
I don't know.
I don't exactly.
Wait, 19, right?
2019, yeah.
Okay, 7 years ago. He wins the Masters.
He was 43.
I understand he was. Jack won at 46.
Okay.
Mickelson's won a major at 50.
I got that. You know how many guys have won majors in their 40s?
Not a lot have.
It's very few.
Watson was in
not in contention.
In contention,
Closing
the
deal.
I know, yeah, I know. I'm saying
you could tell Cindy Crawford a good joke. That would put you in contention. That's a long way from closing the deal.
How old's Cindy Crawford?
Probably about your age.
Didn't we just celebrate her birthday recently?
Cindy Crawford over under 57.
Over.
Where are you guys both going? You're going over, Bobby?
That's a good number. I am going. Gosh, that was 30 years ago.
I'm going to go under.
I'm going to say slightly over, but she's probably like 45 or 50. So I bet she's like 55 or 56.
What do you got there?
She turned 60 on February 20th.
Wow. Won it.
Still didn't play, right?
Can't rule it out.
Bob?
I mean, it's not impossible.
I'm asking you to vacate wins, but still in play, right?
For me or for you?
Yeah, exactly. Still in play for you? You tell me Cindy Crawford's not in play for you.
I don't know what that means. Still in play.
Bob, you know what I mean, Bob.
I'm married, man.
That's why I said I'm not vacating wins, but still in play, right?
I guess.
Okay, thank you. That's all I want to hear. Bill Self has announced he's coming back to Kansas, changing gears.
Speaking of.
Yes. Bob, and I think that is great news for North Carolina because Kansas is more attractive than North Carolina, right? The job?
No.
You don't think so?
I would never want to live in Kansas.
I'm not saying live in Kansas, Bob.
Well, that is what you're saying because that's what they have to do. You ever been to Lawrence?
No, I never have. Larry, Kansas, never been there.
That sounds terrible. I've been to Chapel Hill. It's nice.
Yeah.
I know Tim Hall will sit here and he'll be rolling over in his urn right now. Rolling over as a hemorrhoid or whatever he is. I would I know that Kansas has had more recent success, but have they? Like North Carolina played for a national title within the last 5 years.
Yeah, I saw. I think was it Jay Williams who?
It's not like they were terrible, and Jay Williams is a Duke guy.
Exactly, I know he's a Duke guy, and I know at first take poisons people's brains, but he almost went on. Not almost. I'm pretty sure he did go on first take, and almost went on a. Well, North Carolina is not actually a blue blood anymore, which I don't really know if you can lose blue blood status, but it's in the last decade I'm pretty sure they've played for 3 national titles.
Yeah.
Because they lost to Villanova and, ironically, Kansas.
Right.
They won one. They beat Gonzaga.
Right.
Hubert Davis was winning 20, normally mid-20 games each year.
Yeah, they weren't bad.
I understand it's disappointing for their expectations, but, come on, man.
So you said that you don't think Carolina can lose blue blood status?
Well, I mean,
it would take
takes a long time.
We're talking not making tournaments.
Yes.
Dude, they got it. What were they this year? 5?
They were
6 seeds.
6 seeds.
Lost to VCU.
Yeah, they lost to VCU, and that stinks. But it's not like they limped in as an 11.
Yeah.
I mean, they were
Right.
a 6 seed.
I
Plus,
mean,
the ACC is terrible now, so they can always be the second best team to do because it's not terrible. Not
Well,
bad.
and that's the talk about it is North Carolina more attractive because the ACC is weak? Would Tommy Lloyd, Arizona, would he consider? Because winning the ACC,
he refuses to say he's coming back to Arizona,
right,
which is amazing.
But I'm saying the fact that the Big 12 is easier to win, or it's harder to win the ACC. Fair?
I think that's
with
part
the
of
Big
it.
12 where it's
for
at.
sure.
So does that make North Carolina more attractive because they're blue blood, or because it's in the ACC? And I'm sure the answer both you're going to give
I don't
is
know
yes.
how the hell you get guys to go to Lawrence, Kansas. I'm going to be honest with you about that. I know they have
Money.
to pay them, and that's part of it.
Right.
But, I mean, if money's equal and I have a choice to go to Kansas or Chapel Hill, it is not even close.
Okay, how about Arizona or Chapel Hill?
Tucson, my uncle lives there. It's not great. It's warm, but it's not Phoenix. Let's get that straight. It's like the difference between Zanesville and Columbus.
Well, hey,
Former
now.
Capital.
I'm not crapping on Zanesville.
Not crap on the east side.
I'm not-
Bob. You
former
could have went
Capitals-
west.
former
Well,
Ohio,
Dayton,
Bob.
because Dayton is probably a little nicer. I was like,
Oh, here we
Dayton's
go.
probably got a little more.
Okay. So you're
I was trying to figure out what I could pick. Tucson, my uncle lives there, and it's like, this is terrible. Why don't you move to Phoenix? Well, we're down here. My kids are whatever.
gotta live in Dayton or Zanesville, Bob.
Well, it depends on what you're into.
What's that
I'm
mean?
from over there, so that doesn't bother me. Most people probably would not like that area. They'd probably prefer Dayton, but not that Dayton's the greatest place in the world, but it's better than Tucson.
See, and that's why I wonder, though, about yes, I know that North Carolina's history would tell you blue blood, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if North Carolina holds the same, is not the same standard as it may have been 20 years ago. You know,
I don't know, man. That's
with NIL now.
Well,
and that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
I
mean, NIL's changed everything there,
right? That's
for
an
sure.
equalizer.
But
because you heard
for who though?
You heard what's his name say, Patino say there are no blue bloods anymore. It's really
no Cinderellas anymore, is what he said. Yeah, right.
No, he said there are no blue bloods.
Oh, blue bloods. Yeah, right. Yeah.
I think it's a function of like he goes, all you just need is someone to be able to give you money, and that's what they have.
I don't know if you guys saw. He also, unfortunately, they lost to Duke. But he had a pretty great quote before that game against Duke last weekend, where he basically said, he's like, I told my team in practice yesterday, we dug graves. It's up to them. Are we going in it or is Duke? Unfortunately, the Johnnies were the one who went in it. But yeah, I do think, I don't know, though. Money obviously plays a massive factor.
Yes.
But
above everything else, right?
Yeah, probably. I was gonna say, doesn't being the head coach of North Carolina men's basketball team still carry some weight?
I think it does.
But we just saw Kurt Signetti turn down Penn State for freaking Indiana.
Because you know why? Who wants to live in Happy Valley? That's the same thing as
Is Wilmington that much better?
Yes.
Okay. I'm asking. I'm
going to tell you, number one, you have a viable airport within 45 minutes.
Okay.
That's critical. You can drive to Indianapolis from there in less than an hour. You can drive an hour, and the only thing you're going to run into is a deer or a black bear.
Wow.
I mean, in Pennsylvania, Penn State. I'm telling you, it's awful. So my daughter's like, I might want to go there. I go, you've never been there. It's like going to Lancaster, but there's nothing else around it. My dad was like, if you go here, he's like, I'm not driving this. He's like, I'll come to one game a year.
When you're playing in Columbus.
He's like, I'll come see it. I mean, I'm telling you, that's real life.
Okay.
So there is, yeah. Okay. So I guess that's it. The location thing, I don't know how to argue, though. Because
you can't argue it because it's miserable.
But when you look at it, though, Bob, but when you're making Signetti money,
they have more money to give him at Indiana than they do at Penn State.
What I'm asking is, like, if you've got Signetti money, though,
and the expectations
does location matter?
Yeah. Because what's the point of having all the money in the world if you have to go live in freaking Alaska? Like, that's my point.
Yeah.
People make all this money so they can go live in Laguna Hills. They can have a Manhattan penthouse so they can go live in Star Island or do whatever they want to do. If you're Warren Buffett's the only dude that's just said, hey, I'm just going to stay out here. I'm going to live in my little house in Omaha and I'm fine with that. Everybody's different, but most people, their idea is like, if I just make all this money, I'm going to go buy a vacation house here. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. That's why people.
I mean, Izzo's got a beach house.
For sure. But Lansing isn't as bad. Like
East Lansing. I'm just saying, there's a difference about Bob.
Kansas is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But it's still Kansas, right? I mean, it
is, but I've never been enthralled with that. I mean, I watched, I know Bill Self's won 2 titles there. I watched Elmer Fudd over there just choke it away my whole childhood growing up. What's his name? Who went to, and then won it at North Carolina.
Roy Williams.
Roy Williams. He could never win at Kansas. He'd get close. He could not get him. I don't think they made a Final Four. Maybe.
Oh, no, they made a few Final Fours.
They made a few Final Fours. They never won it, though.
But they could never win it.
Right.
And so, like, okay, that's fine. I mean.
Yeah, they're still a blue blood, though.
I know. Yeah, I'm not saying they're not.
4 or 5, like.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not. But as a player, it's like, okay, my selection set is, and even as a coach, like, where can I win? Where has finances? And is this someplace I'd want to live? And, like, that's why this place has so much appeal to it, because Columbus is a nice place to go. And you're like, even if you're in football, you have to spend 3 years there. Basketball, it's probably just 1, so it's not as bad.
9 months, yeah.
Yeah, not even. So that's not as bad. And, you know, there is some allure there with Kansas. But if you square up Kansas and North Carolina, like, everybody chooses things for different reasons. But I could not, for my life, ever pick that.
Do either of you think, then?
That's why, no offense, Bodie, when I looked at Notre Dame, I'm like, this looks miserable.
South
looks
Bend,
awesome.
Yeah, I've been
you got
there
the Lord
twice.
watching you.
It's you know what it is?
60 minutes every set. Well, half the Saturdays.
Look, I'm gonna offend Bodie and anybody else in the chat, and also Cousin Rob. But South Bend to me is just West Lafayette further west. It's dark. I don't.
I mean, it's cold and it's dark. I mean, it's like there's not much there, and it's okay. Like, that's what you can't do anything about that and change it. So it's all right.
Either of you think that either Dusty May or Tommy Lloyd will take the North Carolina job if offered? Or do you think it will go somewhere else?
Dusty May. Who was the other option?
Tommy Lloyd, Arizona.
Tommy. I don't know if May would take it. I think Lloyd, would.
You think he would?
I think so.
Bodie?
I don't think Dusty May would.
Is Michigan a better job than North Carolina?
Well, I would say no.
I think with
not
what
on the
he's
surface.
I think that what he's built there, but they have to have money, right? Obviously, he's been really good there the last 2 years. The Big Ten as a whole,
it's the best conference maybe in basketball. Don't do the Big 12 thing.
You got to win a title. I'm sorry, you can't go 2.5 decades and puff out your chest about being the best. But it's not a coincidence, I don't think, in football. Especially we've seen with the last 3 national championships now. So the conference as a whole has money. Lloyd has said enough that you're like, well, he's got to be considering it at least. You know, like the Iowa State head coach came out and said like this, I have the best job. I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
Tommy Lloyd's kind of been like,
we'll take
things one day at a time.
I know.
Like,
He's been very evasive.
So I think, and it is, and then in this NIL era, and I don't know Arizona's, you know, and obviously I'm assuming it's pretty good. They've been good in basketball for quite a while now, and they're obviously, I mean, they could win the title in 5 days, but that is just it's just equalized things in such a way that I could have never imagined possible. I mean, could you know, I know I just said it a second ago, but it's like saying a head coach is staying at Indiana and turning down Penn State.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's amazing.
Like, and in the 100+ years that we've been playing the sport up until 2022, it just would have never happened.
Yeah. You're right. I don't think May takes the job if he was offered. I'm not saying, but I don't think that is something that would be in.
I'm guessing he could have it if he wanted it, though.
I think he could.
You probably, if you're Carolina, you probably call everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like if Ryan Day left for the NFL tomorrow,
right?
You call Marcus Freeman, you call Dan Lanning,
yes.
You call, you know, I guess Kirby Smart's probably not leaving Georgia, but you call everybody,
sure.
right? Just say, hey, by the way, we got an opening here because you're Ohio State and Carolina's on that same level there as far as men's basketball goes.
The fact that Kansas's job now is off the table, it means North Carolina is probably the most attractive job, I would guess,
for sure.
But I'm not convinced it's as 30 years ago, 20 years ago, even. I would think it would be more attractive then than it is now. But somebody will obviously jump on that. Coming up next, an NFL team is trying to claim a holiday, Bob. We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I. And then we. Brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence. We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together.
Established the field of neuromuscular medicine, and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum. Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried. Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
If you had it on your bingo card that we would talk in the break about Michael Olowokandi. Candy. Do we know what it was?
Olowokandi, because they called him the Candy Man.
The Candy Man. Isn't that the one who Stephen A. Smith always ripped?
Probably.
I think that was Kwame Brown.
Either way. Tomato.
Oh, wait, there's
right.
Yeah, it's probably a laundry list worth of players for Stephen A. there.
Bob, when's Christmas this year? What day of the week?
Friday?
Yep. Next year?
Saturday.
Year after that?
Probably Sunday. Or maybe a Monday.
And then the year after that? It's a Tuesday.
So leap year.
Okay. And then Wednesday after that.
I thought leap year was 28.
I don't know.
Who knows? Cut off.
I'm just telling you, I got it right in front of me. It says Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The next 5 Christmases. Not 4 Christmases. Different movie. 5. I pointed at you again, Bob. 5 Christmases. Now you've got me. The curious thing and the pointing thing now is in my head.
It's good because no one's there. Like, someone should have corrected you on that a long time ago.
When we reconfigure the studio, will I be closer to you to where I could touch you if I wanted to?
I do not want you touching me.
On the shoulder?
You'll be the exact same distance.
There's no need to.
All right. Anyway, the Lions and Cowboys they're the traditional Thanksgiving games.
Yep.
Always on Thanksgiving, Lions, Cowboys, both home. I wish they would change that.
Why?
I wish they would just make it 3 good matchups. I wish, Bob, they would wait until October to set the Thanksgiving games.
Because that's something that you can do. Flex the Thursday night game.
You can wait, Bob.
I mean,
you
this
can flex
guy's
stuff.
not all
No,
three.
Bob, you can flex stuff during the year. You can flex a Monday night game. A week in advance, 8 days, 9 days. You can flex a Monday night game.
They just started doing that.
Right.
And you know why they don't do that?
It adjusts schedules. It messes with fans, too.
It's hard to book hotels and travel and all of those things.
I
like for
understand
the
that, Bob.
teams. Like there's a lot of logistics. I don't think you realize the depth. I was over at Ohio State. They already have all the hotel lists set up for like the next 3 years of like where they're going and the games where they're going to stay.
So on October 1st, if I give you 6 weeks notice, it's that big of a deal?
Yeah. Because you know why? You're flexing it. So then the back end of that schedule is going to be different of how you're handling your off time. First of all, like you're messing with players' off time then.
Okay.
Because you get time off after that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about flexing things around Thanksgiving. That's a holiday, dude.
Right.
People come in, like there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just, oh, hey, here we go. Thitoff's going to sit on the couch after he watches turkey. Make me a bicycle clown. I want to see the best games.
Why are you yelling at me?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's basically what I'm asking him right now.
But Bob, I'm saying like they flex things, and there was a thing I remember a few years ago. I remember seeing this, maybe a couple years ago. The Chargers got flexed to, I think it was maybe Monday night or Monday night game.
They used to do the Sunday night flexes. The last from week 11 on, they
Right.
would flex the Sunday nights.
Okay, but the Chargers got flexed, and there was a family came out and said, "We've booked tickets, we've done all this.
Yeah.
We're out like $4,000
The
because
NFL said too bad.
Yeah, NFL said too bad. Okay, so my point though, Bob, if that's too bad, so sad, as the kids would say, TBSS, then why is it? How big of a deal is it then to go? That's what I'm saying, to do that.
Cutting a week from Sunday to Thursday
Yeah.
is significant.
Just for years because the Lions sucked way back when.
Yeah.
And
They're
so that's
not
why
bad now.
They're not bad now, but I'm saying like for years it was like Lions, Cowboys, Lions. No matter what their records were about how bad or good they were, it was Thanksgiving. Now they added the third game, the night game, which I love the fact they do that.
Say now they've been doing that for like 15 years.
Has it been 15?
They did it when I played.
Did they
2012.
really? I didn't know that.
2012, I know they did it.
Okay.
I think they did it. They did it before that. They did it when I was still playing in Dallas. It's 2009. So, yes, 15 years. I remember sitting there.
Lay off the peyote.
Getting drunk watching the Broncos play one time.
I'm so glad you said watching instead of playing.
Well, I played already. And
But you got
we
drunk.
had
Okay,
eaten,
gotcha.
And
Yeah.
we got back and we ate dinner, and I sat there. And
You liked Thanksgiving games?
yeah.
You liked playing in Thanksgiving games? Okay.
'Cause that was before everybody else had those Thursday weeks.
Right.
So it was like a mini bye week. And practices weren't that
maxi
hard.
week because you played Sunday and then Thursday, right?
Yeah, but you get the next 3 days off, which was amazing. And so that would come into play. And then that week was hard. It was very tough, but also you couldn't practice that hard either. So that was good.
The Chiefs want Christmas. They want to be
Good.
the Lions and Cowboys of Christmas. They want to be the ones who always host on Christmas. Now, always hosting, does it?
Hosting makes it easier. By
right.
the way, I never played a road game on any of those. I talked to guys who'd come in, they're like, this sucks. I've never played because like that cuts your week. Wednesday, you would leave. So you come in Monday after playing, you're like a pile of ground beef. They have to like reform you into a human at that point. Tuesday, like you kind of walk around, get a little walkthrough. Wednesday, you kind of pick it up a little more, try to get a little bit of tempo going. And then we would get to go home, or I'd go get in the hot tub, get a lot of body work done, and then you go back and rest. The other teams, they got to go get on a plane.
Yeah.
And like I remember we played Tampa, I think, one year on Thanksgiving, and they played in Seattle the week before. You want to talk about a kick in the sack.
Yeah.
I remember, I think Galloway was on the team. I think it was my rookie year. I remember looking at Joey, and I'm like, that sounds miserable. And I'm like, you're going to, like, that's what I'm saying, the schedule. I'm like, you're just going to punch them in the face like that and not even feel bad?
Listen, who are we caring about here? Thitoff other players.
That's what I'm saying. Give me the best matchups. I don't care. Play them Sunday night and then fly them. Why not Monday night and Thursday?
Sure.
Who cares? Fly them straight to the site. They're robots. They don't need to recover.
38-10 against Tampa Bay.
Oh, we beat them down.
November 23rd, 2006.
Okay, Bob, but the NFL doesn't care about fans in the stadium.
Well, to an
They want it
extent.
to be full.
They'd rather have, okay, NFL, though, you ask them, would you rather have higher ratings or fuller stadiums? I think higher ratings, right?
So I'll let you know a little secret.
Please.
The money is split, like all the TV money is split evenly.
Right.
The general admission is split. Like the owners have splits of how they give up the money. That's the reason why everybody wants new stadiums and new suites, because they get to keep 100% of the suite money themselves.
Okay.
And they get to keep all the in-game advertising. So if you ask the league as a whole, yeah, more ratings, that's better. It's going to be better to drive TV deals. But if you ask individual owners, like
Sure.
Jerry wants that stadium full because he makes a lot of money off that stadium relative to other owners. Mike Brown, he probably doesn't care because they have
I think they have two suites.
They have a craft.
No,
They have a craft stadium, and they don't
Right.
really. They just finally sold the marketing rights to this name.
They've got pay toilets in Cincinnati, Bob. But yeah, so I'm saying though, Bob, like, so if I would say that the NFL cares more about ratings
Overall, because that's
Okay.
where their revenue is driven.
everything goes there. So, and that's why I'm just saying that yes, it would be if they waited to flex these games until whatever, October, see who's good, who's hurt. You know, if a quarterback's out for the season, that changes maybe who you want to have on Thanksgiving. But I would think that the NFL, though, as a whole, as a business, would be better served making sure they have 6 meaningful teams playing on Thanksgiving.
Sure, but there is something with the tradition of watching the Lions at noon and the Cowboys at 3:30, and I don't think that that's the worst thing in the world. Because you can't you could put 2 meaningful teams in there. It doesn't mean it's going to be a good game.
Okay. You put Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, who doesn't want to watch Pittsburgh these days?
Yeah, exactly.
They've been a
Rodgers,
really
okay.
thrilling
Watching
team
those
the
two,
last decade.
that offensive
9-8,
that
9-8,
offensive explosion.
10-7, 9-8.
Would you rather have 49ers and Rams in Australia on a Thursday or on Thanksgiving in one of their home venues?
Here's the thing: like I'm going to watch it regardless. And
Right,
you know
I
what?
know, yeah.
Everybody, there were 49 million people that watched the Cowboys play.
And guess what? They weren't very good, and Kansas
Yes.
City wasn't that good either last year.
Exactly. So that's my point. So you can sit there and shrug your arms and say, "I want to be entertained more."
Tito's happy about the Buckeyes playing Southern Cal in October, but screw those rowing players, man. They got to go all the way to Piscataway for that Rutgers matchup. And
that's a huge deal. No,
to hell with them.
I am just saying to Bob, yes, I know tradition. Lions, Cowboys hosting. Yes, Lions at noon. I watched many bad Lions teams in the 80s, but I watched because it was
They're bad in the
Thanksgiving.
2000s again.
See, I wasn't going to go there.
They were bad until 2022.
They were bad for a long time. But I'm just saying.
They made the playoffs in 2012.
I'm sorry.
Once they got Matty, they were better.
I would have rather just seen better matchups those days. You're right. It doesn't change our viewing. We're still going to watch.
There's games where you have two teams that are supposed to be good, and sometimes it ends up being a blowout.
Okay, so is it
People
better than...
complained about the Super Bowl with the Rams and Patriots because there wasn't enough scoring.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you define as a good game.
And even, I think the NFL typically, if you looked at the schedule on Labor Day weekend for Thanksgiving,
right,
it's always Cowboys-Lions. But I feel like the Thursday night game, they normally try to pick teams they expect to be good.
Yes. Yeah.
And I feel like the two teams that are playing, Dallas and Detroit, they typically expect to be pretty good. It doesn't always turn out that way, but... So
then maybe, Bob, to take it full circle, it's almost better for the NFL to have whatever teams playing on Thursday because you're going to watch them anyway. If I put the two worst teams, if I put Northwestern against Appalachian State.
Don't you remember on the Thursday night games when they were putting like Jacksonville against Tennessee out there when both of them were bad? It's a color rush. It's a color rush game, and you're like, this is bad ball. And it's like
Jake Locker and Blake Bortles.
Yes,
to look at these uniforms.
3-8 versus 4-7, battling it out. But you know what? Probably 25 million people still watched it.
They did. Coming up next, this guy, always a color rush. Ya Highness joins us next. Morning Juice.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greensons.com for all your Kubota needs.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad. And I feel very proud to be a son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
I lost count of how many foster homes I lived in. 20, maybe more. Each time, a new family, a new room, but never a space that felt like mine.
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a permanent home.
Now I have my own room and decorated it myself. And just like my family, it's mine to keep.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
If you're looking for the inside scoop on the Buckeyes, you've come to the right place. This is Morning Juice.
If you notice, the vibe changed. I don't know if Ya Highness sees it or not. I think he does. Dude, it turned into a club up in here. Ya Highness joins us live from Arizona. Very early out there. Good morning, Ya Highness. I can't wait to see you on Monday. We'll be at Parlay Sports Club and Kitchen, and you and I will be there. I'm telling people 7 o'clock we'll be there, Eastern time. I don't think I'll stay for the whole game. You will, though, correct? And who else you talk to Brody and Bobby. I'm going to step out right now. You tell them why they should come.
We can't hear you, Your Highness.
Your Highness, we can't hear you.
Muted.
I'm on mute.
There we go. Now we go. All right.
Yelling at myself over here. Anyways, I love the ambiance,
yes.
the lights there. I'm like a Diplo coming in to play a little DJ in there in Columbus. Come on, baby, get the boom, 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 boom. Let's do it. Anyways, Bobby, I need all the attention here, buddy. So I'll be 7:30. By the way, I'm 7:30. I'm gonna show up there at the parlay place. I need Bobby and Brody to make an appearance. You guys can lead by first dip if you like. But the peoples of Columbus need to see you together with Ya Highness out in the public, intermingling with the fine folks of the 614. So I expect both of you to be there. Cinderella, that's for the basketball teams, not you, the people. You're not going to turn into pumpkins at midnight. Show up, be there, or be square. I'll be there.
Final four. You're biased.
Yeah, oh yeah. You want to talk real?
Yeah, fine. You're biased.
You want my unbiased opinion? I'll give it to you.
Give me unbiased. Yes, so, I know, because you're a Michigan guy, though.
The first game, UConn, Illinois. I think we got two things we're looking at here. Number one is UConn is going to lay an egg. Emotional high coming off the Duke win, the game they should not have won. But on paper, Illinois is the better team. Three categories that Illinois really separates themselves is free throw percentage. They're almost 7% better from the line than UConn as a team. They commit almost about 8 to 9% less per play. So they basically, how many defensive plays do you guys run? How many fouls are called? 8% of the time, Illinois is called for less fouls. Now, we do know the guy that refereed, or one of the guys that refereed the Michigan-Tennessee game. That game was called very close, a lot of fouls. One of those referees will be on this UConn-Illinois game. I think that means there could be a lot of fouls called. That benefits Illinois. Here's a fun little fact for you. Illinois' shot selection, 50-50. They take half their shots from two, half their shots from three. They're the better three-point shooting team, where UConn only shoots about 60-40 split. So I think UConn having to keep up with three is going to be difficult as well. So I think Illinois wins going away. Could be almost a 10-point or something like that. I think it's going to get a little lopsided, and I think the general public will be in for a little bit of a shock. But Illinois, I think, dominates UConn. Now to the real national championship game, Arizona and Michigan, because really these are the two best teams left, and I think this game is going to be a real barn burner. This game comes down to three categories, and whoever can win two of these three categories wins the game. Number one, fast break points. I think this is going to be contributed to turnovers, which is Michigan's real deficiency. If I had to say Michigan had a real weak point, and that's the careless turnovers, frankly, by Cadeau there at the point guard. Rebounds, Arizona is actually the better rebounding team, but who wins the rebounding battle is very important. And the bench points. Again, we're getting late in the season. Both these teams played late into their conference tournaments. They're obviously late into the NCAA tournament. Bench points are going to matter. So whoever can win two of three of those categories will win. I think Michigan loses on the glass to Arizona. They're going to have to beat them on the turnovers and fast break points, and then the bench is going to have to step up. So I think that's going to be a real good game, but I would love to see Illinois-Michigan for the championship, guaranteeing the Big Ten finally brings one home in, 25 years or something? So
26, yep.
How much of Arizona's inability or lack of three-point prowess plays into this game?
Well, Michigan is definitely the better shooting team all around. Both teams are one of the fastest per Ken Palm tempo teams out there. So Michigan, out of 350 teams or wherever there is in Division I, Michigan is like the 9th fastest team, and Arizona is like the 16th fastest team. So these boys are going to get up and down the court. On the inverse, UConn and Illinois are two of the slowest teams. So we're going to have a big difference in games here as far as the game play and the game speed. Ultimately, Michigan's got more shooters than Arizona. The big guy for Arizona is that's going to be the game, I think. He's got to stay out of foul trouble. I think if you get a tightly close game like the Tennessee-Michigan game, that benefits Michigan. So I think both the Big Ten teams are going to be the deeper teams, and a tightly closed officiated game will benefit both Big Ten teams.
Something, Your Highness, WeWinUwin.com, by the way, also at Shut Up and Bet on YouTube. I just thought about this, and this is real.
Okay.
I don't know if the wife's going to come out on Monday, trying to get her to come out and make an appearance so people can either pray for her or tell her how lucky she is. But I know you do the say hi to your mom, say hi to your grandmother. I want you to know I might invite my sister out. Do you know?
Is she single? Hey,
she's
now,
single.
come
She's
on.
a little older. Okay, listen.
Buddy.
She's
A little older.
56. Yes, I'm 54. She's 56. Do you want to guess? And this is what scares me. I can't believe I'm doing this on the air. Do you want to guess?
I can't believe you're doing this on air either. I don't even know what we're doing. All right, come on.
When
now.
her birthday is?
I don't know why you do this to your sister. I don't even want to guess. I think that's inappropriate.
Monday night? Was it Monday night?
It's not Monday night. Bodie, you have a guess when my sister's birthday is?
I'll say Tuesday.
Oh, not what year, but what day?
What day of the week is my what's the date of my sister's birthday?
Tuesday.
No.
This Tuesday's here.
The fact none of you
Is
got
it Easter?
This. No.
420?
420.
April
Her
20th?
birthday's April 20th. She's April 20th.
Yeah.
My late.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I feel weird saying that to you out loud. But if she comes out though, I will make sure
You're going to smoke?
No, listen. We are going to
Yeah,
we are going to arrive together.
My man, come on,
we're going
baby.
to leave together. Yes, she is April 20th. My late mom, April 21st. I'm April 28th. But yes, my sister's birthday, I just thought about this, is April 20th. Should I invite her out to the event?
Yeah, make sure Bobby and Brody are there, though. Come on. These guys cannot, look, I try to propose where people would donate money to the Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Which I love,
Central
yes.
Ohio. Let's do something for the kids there in Ohio and Columbus area. But, yeah, let's get the two pumpkin eaters there, Brody and Bobby, out there. Again, just make an appearance. Let's do a group picture, then you can go home.
There we go.
By the way, I just ordered last night. I got you guys as gifts. I'm really looking forward to that. I'll bring those in.
So now you guys got Bobby.
Yeah.
Now you have to go. Bobby, can we get a commitment on the air right now to
Not
Central
commit to
Ohio?
anything.
that
Put him
you
on a
show up at
spot.
The amount of
7:30?
things
Back
I
him
turned
into a
down.
corner.
No, that's fine. You can say whatever you want. I've overcommitted myself all throughout my life, and if it wasn't Monday night, I would easily commit to it. If it was on a Thursday, but they put these damn things on Monday night.
Brody,
I have to
want
teach
you
all
to
day.
undercommit and overdeliver. Just don't tell the people show up.
Well,
Let's
maybe
do it.
that's
Come on.
maybe that might be a possibility, but I can't promise to put it out there on air.
oh my gosh,
Okay. Well, I'll text you
What?
privately.
Wait.
Then I'm just going to harass you for the next couple of days.
Brody, I just got a text here, Your Highness.
All
Somebody
right.
else's birthday is
Good
April
news.
20th.
Was my mom texting you?
I'm not going to say that, Bob, but who else's birthday is April 20th?
My dad's is.
Yes, Rob Carpenter. Let's get him
You know,
out there
maybe
too.
we can get the
My dad
original
ain't coming.
Carp.
My dad ain't
Come
coming
on.
up. I promise you that.
Big Daddy Carp. Come on, let's get Big Daddy
My
Carp in
dad
the
hates-
house. Let's go.
He hates going out more than anyone I know.
Okay,
He's a
Brody,
smart man then. Smart man.
Bobby is wavering. He's waffling on this. Brody, are you going to commit to Monday night?
He's got to be up at like.
I won't commit to it, but I'll give you an honest effort.
Okay, there we go.
That's all I can tell you on this.
By the
Tuesday.
way, this establishment, it's on High Street. Is
Oh
that
yeah,
correct?
That's exactly.
It's right. It's right in Short
Yes.
North.
He'll be on the highest street in Columbus has ever seen. Come on, though.
We'll
Let's
get my
do it,
sister
baby.
out there. We'll get Rob Carpenter out there. We'll do it all. What kind of specials you got going on with WeWinUwin.com right now?
Yeah, so it technically doesn't go public until Friday, but I love you, the peoples of Columbus. So let me give you a little tease here. So for the whole month or up until your sister's birthday,
Yes.
or 20, we're running a special, a full year. Get the full year for $420. It works out to about $35 a month. That's good until April 20th. Bobby is just over here rolling. Does not like it. Come on, it's pro. It's all about the culture, baby. But anyways, the promo code for you listeners there listening is 971420. So 971420. That's 97.1, 420. You get it 971-420. Locks you in for $420 for every year. And again, that's $35 a month. I had a guy, Tito, I don't know if you listened or read the message. I had a guy write a very long message in the group about he's new to sports betting. He's only been around doing this a couple months. He decided March was the first month he was going to really take it serious and put aside some money and bankroll himself properly. And he put up a really long review there. Very good. And I'll summarize real quick. But basically, he started off with only like $1,000 he put aside, broke down his units like I tell him to, and did quite well. He ended up making about 28 units. And again, his units were smaller, around $7 and stuff like that, but it's all relative. So again, people, it pays for itself. Even your small $5, $10 bettors are turning a profit and still able to afford the membership. We do a ton of giveaways. This month alone, I'm giving away $500 of my own money in March Madness bracket we're doing. I want to put out a thing for the free for the event there, the meetup event, Tito. I want to put up 4 $20 keynote tickets. But I want to do something like that's why I try to tell you guys the email. I want people to like donate money to the Big Brothers Big Sisters or some type of local charity there in Columbus to become eligible. But I'll put up my own money, buy it, because I think they sell the keynote tickets there at that place.
They do.
And yeah, I'll put 4 $20 keynote tickets to those that show up. But you got to donate, whatever. You guys pick a charity that near and dear to your
Big
heart.
Brothers Big Sisters. That's good.
Yeah, it holds a special place in my heart. I was a big brother all through college, so I really love that charity. So the one there in Central Ohio, I'm sure does a wonderful job. So I like to give them some money as well. So yeah, email. How about this? Let's just do this, guy. And I'll just make the executive decision. Anybody that donates any amount of money to the Big Brothers Big Sisters program of Central Ohio, email me a receipt or the screenshot of your donation. Doesn't matter how much it is. And I'll put you on a list and you'll be eligible to be one of the people drawn for the $20. I'll do 4 $20 keynote tickets. We'll give away there. Let's say at tip time at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
So show up early, I'll get there about 7:30 and we'll kiss babies and hug your sister or something. I don't know.
That's fine.
It's so awkward. Do you think she can bring me into the show the next morning? No, I'm joking. That's inappropriate.
Listen,
but
I will say hi to my sister. I'll say hi to Bobby's dad for you. Any advice for Bob before we get you out of here?
Yeah, just show up. Surprise me. Forget the people. Forget the many crazed fans there in Columbus, Ohio that want to get a little piece of the Bobby Carpenter. Just come and have a beer with me. 1 beer. I'll pay for it. We'll sit there. We'll talk shop for a little bit, and you go home, and then we'll come back and reconvene the next day. By the way, that Tuesday is a hell of a day. I got you guys in the morning. I'm driving up to Toledo to do the Toledo show, the Mud Hens game.
Right.
And then Columbus Blue Jackets are taking on the Detroit Red Wings that Tuesday night. I'm going to go up to Detroit and watch that game, too. So I got a jam-packed Tuesday.
Ya Highness, you're the best, bud. We will talk again, and I will see you on Monday. Faux show.
Yeah. Oh, I can't say the last part. Use a faux show, right?
Yes,
it's a 2-letter word that Santa Claus says.
I got you.
Aha, there you go. Guys, I love all 3 of you. I got presents coming. See you Tuesday. No, see you Monday. I'll see you Monday.
He's a man. There goes Your Highness there joining us there. Thank you so much for that. WeWinYouWin.com. Bobby, it's going to be a quick one here. Today's Thursday. It'll be Schlegs. It's going to be a quick one, though. Are you getting emotional today or not?
Just go.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right. What's Schlegs that say?
You work out so hard, but my diet, I just break it on there because I work out and I eat right. I do everything right probably 90% of the time. But when I do break it for that 10% of the time, I break it hard. And it's called Bluebell. The best ice cream in the country.
What the hell was that?
That was a free advertisement.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what that was right there. All right, guys, I'll be try to be quick here.
Yes.
Read that. I saw this morning, and I was like, well, I have to bring this up because we talked about it, I don't know, a week or two ago. This was on ESPN, which I found amazing because I guess it's sports related. Dayton Weber, the quadruple amputee cornhole player facing murder charges, intends to argue that he acted in self-defense when he shot a passenger in his vehicle last week. Weber, a former pro in the American Cornhole League, he has been accused of shooting Brad Wells while they were traveling in Weber's vehicle vehicle just outside of La Plata, Maryland. On March 22nd, the two had a verbal argument before the shooting. The other passengers in the vehicle told police. Weber's attorneys argued it was, quote, a clear-cut case of self-defense. One of his attorneys said, quote, Dayton Weber is not guilty. Dayton was terrified of being killed. Dayton knew that he had to be shoot or be killed. So, little update on our boy there. We'll see what happens if the self-defense argument works, Bob, but that had me super juiced this morning when I saw that and read it.
Too bad that Johnny Cochran's
if he is innocent,
yes,
I hope he gets out free.
Juice Bucks got practice today. Excited to go see that. I'm always pumped when it's Thursday because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are long days for me. So today is a little bit easier and excited to head over to practice and excited as you continue down this journey as season 3 and Thrones.
No Celtics game tonight.
No Celtics game. You're going to probably want to watch 2 of them. And, dude, once you get like to the end of 3 and into 4, oh, boy.
Maybe I'll just watch all night. Bust out 10 episodes. Just come straight here tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Ooh.
OJ's was a trial of the century. There are so many things that they did in the OJ trial you couldn't do in this one. The shoes.
The glove.
Bob, it's a much different trial. They do it. I don't know if it's as intriguing.
Well,
I mean, Cochran's dead.
R.I.P.
Yeah, right. R.I.P. to Cochran. But I'm saying, I don't think there's as many pieces of evidence that you would have.
I don't think Dayton reached the athletic feats that the Juice did, but
right.
I don't know.
It just doesn't seem like it would be as compelling, Bob, I guess is the way. CNN's not going to cover this one.
I don't know. I mean,
can't rule it out.
But okay, there's no Al Cowlings, there's no Bronco.
Yeah, but you got a guy who has limited limbs.
Limited? No, he has none.
That's what I'm saying.
Limited's not the number, Bobby. He has
zero.
Limited is 0. I've got limited athletic skills. I don't have 0. He's got no limbs. He's limbless. All right. Thank you, Ya Highness, for joining us. I did try to peer pressure both of you into going. I don't think it worked, but I hope you both make an appearance. Ya Highness said he's got gifts and he'll buy you a beer, Bob.
That's fine. I appreciate that from
we
him.
Can celebrate
if
your
it
dad's
wasn't
birthday.
downtown, that would also play into the positive of it. But
Carpenter household. Then.
Yeah, you got a DD.
What do you? It's my son's got workouts the next day. I'm not having him drive down there and get me and do all that nonsense.
It's not nonsense. It's Ya Highness.
Well,
I'm sure it would be a good family fun, Bob.
I'm definitely not introducing him to Ya Highness.
My
not
sister.
Yet. She's an adult. She can make her own decisions.
I got to see about my sister on this one if we're going to do that one. And I'm going to invite her to come out. We'll see if it happens.
Does he have a ride into it?
And that's the part. It got awkward. I know. It's fine. All right, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you to Albert Breer for joining us from Paris. There, I got all sophisticated on you there, Bob. Also, thank you to Highness, folks. We are back tomorrow. AJ Hawk. I've got parenting advice I need from AJ tomorrow.